All right, folks, welcome aboard. This is the third video for Do You Have Cell Service? Let's find out how cells can service us and take care of us. Let's review again these big kind of mysteries, these guiding questions that help us kind of give purpose to this chapter, one of which is why are proteins so important to the cell and why should we care about proteins? Number two is what's happening inside our cells and organs that helps us survive and what goes wrong when we don't. And then third is how are the things in the environment, the abiotic variables around us, how are they impacting us and what might they do to our cells? So we're going to jump forward all the way to slide 37, I believe, and pick up where we last left off. So page 37, we have a definition to write, and it's simply that, all you do. And it says an organelle, so it's a vocab word, it says are structures within the cell coated or wrapped up within a membrane. So it's any structure within a cell that has a coating or surrounded by a membrane. And you can see here that there's the nucleus coated or surrounded in a membrane. We have this structure right here. This is the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is an important structure we'll talk about later. But you can see that it has layers or coatings of membrane. We have the Golgi apparatus. We'll talk about this later also. It'll have an important function. And you can see right here the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Also, many layers or membranes. All the important things about the eukaryote and what make them so special and successful as an organism is that they have these special little organs called organelles within each cell that divides parts up, and they each have their own little function. Enjoy. Slide 38. Okay, so let's think about cell membrane for once. So we have our official definition of a cell membrane. And a cell membrane, not just a membrane, but a cell membrane is a boundary between the cell and its environment. And its function is this. It either protects the cell, so it's like armor. It can maintain a safe internal environment, so it can make sure that the cell inside has the environment it wants. Or it can transport materials in or out. So nothing gets in, nothing gets out without the membranes. All right, so here we go. In your journal, it says predict the function of the cell membrane in each image. So for image A, B, C, and D, think about these functions to protect, maintain safe internal environment, and transport materials in and out. So in your notebook, for slide 38, you would write A equals, and see what's happening here. A woman is slapping a man. He must have done something wrong. Don't get slapped. Her slapping him, she's basically slapping all the cells of his face. And all the cells of his face are coated in a membrane. When he gets slapped, right in the face, what do you think the membrane is helping to do? Is it protecting each cell of the face? Is it maintaining a safe internal environment within the cell? Or is it transporting materials in and out? What is your first instinct? And I'd go with it. I wouldn't overthink it. The next thing is you have B, and it shows water going inside or leaving a red blood cell. So it's again, it says water moving in and out of cell, the cell shape, concentrations, etc. So it shows water going in and out of the cell. What would this be? To protect? Is the membrane protecting it from water? Is it maintaining a safe internal environment? Or is it transporting materials in and out? Which, in this picture, B, is a cell membrane doing? Then we have C. It says HIV virus, which are green, so these little green guys here, it says are attacking a white blood cell, which is what they do. This is the white blood cell. And the white blood cell is getting attacked by many HIV virus. Now, based on the HIV virus attacking the cell, what is the membrane doing in this situation? Is the membrane attempting to protect the cell? Is the membrane maintaining a safe internal environment? Or is the membrane, in this example, transporting materials in and out? Make your choice. So you would write C equals this, or that. Example D. Let's check it out. It's very interesting, but it happens to all of us. It looks a little confusing, but it shouldn't be. We got a cell here. It has what's called a glucose channel that is closed. It also has something here called a receptor. Now this channel and receptor are technically proteins, and we'll learn more about this in a minute. But watch what happens. So if this receptor bonds to this thing called insulin, if the insulin bonds to the surface where the receptor is, like a lock and key, kind of like what we learned with enzyme, you can see once it does that, it opens up the glucose channel. And the channel is kind of like a doorway in the membrane. Then the glucose, as you can see, goes inside of the cell. In this example, the cell wanted sugar, it bonded to insulin, the cell received sugar. Based on that, is the membrane, or the cell membrane of it, is it protecting the cell? Is it maintaining a safe internal environment? Or is the membrane transporting materials in and out? So you'd write D equals and then choose one of these. Good luck. Are you feeling it? Are you realizing how cells are important to us? I hope you are. Whether you're getting slapped in the face or you're trying to digest and absorb some sugar for your cells so you can stay alive, all of these things matter so much. This new definition is selective permeability, and you can see it says the cell membrane decides which chemicals and molecules move in or out of the cell. So our earlier examples had already shown us that the cell can decide what goes in, what out. Sugar just doesn't go right into a cell. It has to be allowed to go in thanks to the cell membrane. So a cell doesn't always want to eat, doesn't always want to absorb sugar, so boom. It doesn't have to because the cell membrane can choose what goes in and out because it is selective about what can go through. Permeable means that some things can go in, but some things cannot. Permeable means that it's not a perfect coating that doesn't let something in. Permeable means things can get through. Let's look at this in some different examples. We have here in this picture, it shows certain little water molecules are going through a membrane while these larger green structures cannot. So these things go through, but the others cannot. So the membrane is selecting against the little green structures because they're bigger. They just don't fit through. You can see this example is the same. The permeable sections, or the smaller sections in this image, would allow these smaller particles through, but these larger pink ones cannot. So let's think about this. We have a blood cell, we got a sweat gland cell, this real picture of a sweat gland cell, real picture of a red blood cell, real picture of a liver cell that's been stained so you can see different parts of it, including the membrane and the nucleus. We have a brain cell that's been stained and looks magical and sparkly. Different parts of the cell have been stained so you can see it. And then we have a lung cell, same situation, stained beautifully. And a photograph was taken of each of these with special microscopes. If only we had these at class, we'd have a party. It says in your journal, first view the membrane situations. So let's look at we have 4 situations. And then it says, once we read the situations, it says hypothesize which cell is involved for each situation. And it says give a reason why you think. So we have to say situation 1 equals and pick a cell and then give a reason why. Let's think about this. It says releasing salt solution through membranes. So salt coming out of the body or coming out of the cells, what does that sound most like? What is salty here? That would make sense. So think about this. Which cell here is going to release a salty material or fluid? You have blood cell, sweat gland cell, liver cell, brain cell, and lung cell. Whichever one you think, go with your instinct. Remember, your body can release certain substances that may seem salty, right? Once you make your choice, give a reason why. You have to have a reason. Give your evidence. So once you choose which cell for situation 1, give a reason why you think it. Situation 2, so you'd write 2 in your notebook, equals transporting oxygen out and carbon dioxide within. So we got to think, what part of the body transports gases, oxygen, carbon dioxide? Now you may not know, and I'll give you this one. Number 2 equals blood cells. Blood cells, like this beautiful one right here, Its job is to transport oxygen to cells that need it. So it's kind of a delivery cell. This cell travels in your blood and drops off oxygen to cells that need it and absorbs and picks up carbon dioxide that the cells release. And then it will transport it back to the lungs so you can breathe out the carbon dioxide and get rid of it. If you didn't, it would build up in your blood and become acidic. Your blood would be acidic, and we know that acidity in the blood is no good. All right, number 3 situation. Transporting toxins through membrane for removal. So, we got to think about this. What kind of cell in the body would help remove toxins? Well, in this example, we can choose a lung cell, brain cell, or liver cell. Well, we know lung cells are involved in breathing, right? We know brain cells help us think and respond to our environment. They affect our emotions and moods. So liver cell, you have to decide, what do you think it is? Liver cell, which you may not know much about, or lung cell? I'd recommend you just doing a quick search and seeing what a liver cell does or what a lung cell does. But if you have a feeling you know, go for it. Number 3 equals what cell you think, and give a reason why. The hint is that when people drink too much alcohol, which is a toxin, it affects one of these organs the most. That's my only hint. Good luck. Situation number 4 says, this cell transports emotion hormones out of the cell. Man, so which one of these cells is most involved in how you feel or your emotions? Blood cell, sweat gland cell, liver cell, brain cell, or lung cell? I think this one's a little easier and I'll let you take it away. But this cell affects your emotions. And why do you think? So remember, defend your choice. So once you choose what cell you think it is for situation number 4, write equals cell because and give a reason. Give a reason or some evidence to support your choice. All right, that's slide 39. We're going to go do one more slide if we have time. We don't have time. We're going to stop at 39. Notice we covered 3 slides today in this activity. Not many, but they're harder and they take more time to figure it out. So we'll pick slide 40 up next time. So take a break and I look forward to chatting with you again. Buenas noches.